Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gaming Corner podcast. I'm your temporary host, Jonathan, and I'm joined by Presto the Magnificent and Andross.
Yo, what is up? This is Andross here.
Hey there, I'm the slightly kind of host of GCP. I'm also here too. I'm Presto.
Epic. And today we're going to be discussing the future of The Legend of Zelda. But first, we need to talk about Andross. So Andross, what do you do in terms of content?
Yeah, so it's good you guys got me on for the future of Zelda, because Zelda is my mission. That's my content. So I primarily stream and do YouTube content around playing Zelda in weird ways.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, since that's launched.
Right.
Things like backflipping across the entire map, speed runs to cook every meal, just creative ways to play the game. And then in addition to that, I do a podcast with my good buddy, and we do the Nintendo Pals podcast, weekly show all about Nintendo. So I have a nice microphone. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to talk about Zelda. It's
for sure.
Near and dear to my heart. A great series, my favorite game series.
Yeah, same here. All right, well, with that, let's move into the latest gaming news and announcements.
Xbox boss Phil Spencer says, I think we should have a handheld. Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, recently hinted at the development of a handheld console, which was leaked last year but remains unannounced. He expressed excitement about future hardware and praised existing handhelds like the ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion Go, and Steam Deck. Unlike PlayStation's Portal, Xbox's handheld is expected to play games natively, which fits the Play Anywhere motto. The announcement of an all-digital Xbox Series X, which leaked alongside the handheld, suggests Microsoft's entry into the portable gaming market might be imminent, enhancing the accessibility of Xbox Game Pass on the go. So that's nice. My only thing with that is I don't care about any of Xbox's first-party games, so I don't really see a reason to pick this up personally.
Yeah.
Well, neither do they, apparently, because, I mean, they haven't had very many first-party titles come out in recent memory.
That's true.
I was like, you want to have a handheld, maybe you should have some games first, I think. But
that is a really fair
they've got
point.
Game Pass.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
never play.
Game Pass, a handheld with access to Game Pass is actually pretty good idea, I think. Game Pass is a good. It's the best deal in gaming, but there are like Presto said, it's a bunch of games you're just never gonna play.
Right. I've heard from places that the Game Pass is actually kind of a ripoff, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I don't think it is. Like, just looking at the game library, there's so many different games. There's at least one game on there for everybody. It's just like, the thing is, do you have time to play all of those games?
Right. That's
and
the thing.
Are you going to do it? Because if not, you're just wasting money, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's basically what I had heard.
Yeah, that makes sense. I tried out Game Passes like free. They give you. They were constantly trying to give it away for free, for like 3 months, and I only played like one game on it, and then didn't renew it, obviously. I just felt like
probably use it for indie games, but also I have my Switch for indie games, so like.
Yeah, if you're playing a lot of games and you have that kind of time, then I think it's a good deal. And if you're playing like a lot of those like big ticket, like AAA first party games, which do come to the system, then it's a decent deal. I've got friends that like it and friends that could care less. It all depends on the person. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I was gonna say I did like that they threw shade at PlayStation in the news. They're like, unlike the PlayStation Portal, this will be able to.
PlayStation Portal is the PlayStation. Like, PlayStation has better first-party games, but nobody's gonna get a PlayStation Portal.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like they can't quite. Nobody can quite do it perfect. Everybody's got some fatal flaw that makes it not work.
I wonder if Xbox will actually be able to overcome that, or if they'll just fail.
Yeah, they seem to like to throw money at stuff, so sure.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
For sure.
That's fair. That's what Sony's doing with all of their Spider-Man spin-off movies. Like,
yeah, you throw something and hopefully something sticks, and then you end up with 3 like Venom movies somehow.
and Madam Web and Morbius.
Yeah.
Sid Meier's Civilization 7 official release trailer. The Sid Meier's Civilization 7 has been announced for a 2025 release. It will be available on major platforms including PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, indicating potential native Linux support. Sid Meier and 2K Games president David Ismailer expressed excitement and confidence in the game's success. The Steam page lists Linux and macOS requirements as TBD, with more details expected later. Basically, the trailer looked pretty cool. That's all I can really remember.
Did it show gameplay?
There is a gameplay presentation in August.
Oh, okay. I dig that.
No gameplay was shown in the trailer, unfortunately.
But the trailer, cool. Okay.
The trailer, it looks sick. I mean, it's Civilization. I mean, you know.
Are you a fan of the series, John?
I am a fan of the series. That is why I wanted to read it. I never made that clear.
Have you played Civ? Which one's on Switch? Civ 6?
Yeah, Civ 6. I have played Civ 6.
Have you played it on Switch?
Yeah. That's the only platform I could get it on. Well,
really?
Well, I guess I probably could have gotten it on PC, but my PC's kind of bad. So, you know.
I gave it a shot on Switch, and I couldn't get into it, but I was like, I think this would be better on a computer.
Yeah,
because it definitely seemed designed for a mouse and keyboard.
I do think that is definitely true. It was fun though. The only problem was it was a little slow. I'll be honest. It was very heavily optimized.
Yeah,
which is, then I'm also kind of wondering, how are they going to put Sid Meier's Civilization 7 on the Switch?
Yeah, that's what
that was already optimized.
Maybe it's a trick. It's for Switch 2. It's for Switch 2. It's 2025. Get the
it is 2025.
Next system.
It's probably okay. Somebody joked, I don't remember who it was, about Sid Meier's Civilization 7 being the launch title of the Switch 2. It's funny. It was that would never happen, but it's funny.
What a game to launch with, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like Civilization is it's really, really popular, but also very niche at the same time. You have to, you almost have to have a textbook to know how to play it.
Yeah.
I just remembered that I actually own Civilization 5 for the Nintendo Switch physically. It's one of the games that I got with my Switch.
Wait, Civ 5?
Never played it. I think that's what it is. I wouldn't know because I haven't played it.
Oh, okay. I don't even.
Oh no, sorry. Civilization 6. My bad. That's the one that I have.
Civ 6 was $27 on Amazon when I bought it. It was funny. It was why? It's a $60 game, but you know what? I'm gonna take it.
I see it discounted quite often, actually. It is
currently $3 on the Switch eShop.
I was gonna say, I swear I saw it for $3 on the Switch eShop the other day.
It's actually crazy.
Until the 20th. So, actually, it's probably not on sale by the time you're hearing this. But too bad for you.
Too bad.
If you wanted to pick it up on sale.
I guess they're trying to get people hyped for Civ 7. They're here you go, have the game for free. I mean, that's basically giving it away. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll be keeping an eye on this one. See where we land with Civ 7 on Switch or Switch 2.
Yeah, for sure. My first experience with Civilization was Civ 2, which is very pixelated, I'm gonna be honest. But it was very good. My dad has a computer from when he was in college, and he plays Civ 2 on there every once in a while. It's just super cool.
That's fun. That's cool. Well, I'm looking that up on the side here because I never played Civilization prior to trying it out on Switch, but I've heard of lots of people that are oh yeah, I love it, grew up with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm looking at Civ 2's ourselves. This is classic PC gaming, old school Warcraft 2, that era. Yeah, that's a and there's not Civilization's the only game from that era that's really stuck around, this style of
Yeah.
SimCity. I don't know what you'd even call this, like real-time strategy, I guess. Not really real-time.
Probably. To be honest, I don't even know.
But yeah, like Warcraft is gone. I guess it's now World of Warcraft, Age of Empires. There's like a bunch of games that were like Civilization. And I'm probably like anybody listening that played any of those is like, what are you talking about? These are similar at all. Like, well, hey, I'm the Nintendo guy. I didn't play PC games.
Right.
The PS5 players can soon join Discord calls directly from console. So Sony has introduced a new feature for the PS5 that allows players to join Discord voice chat directly from their console, which would eliminate the need for your PC or the phone app. You'll be able to access Discord through the game base in the console's control center. So it's part of their latest system update, which also will include new social and child account features and improvements to Pulse audio accessories and the PlayStation Link USB adapter. The rollout will start in Japan and Asia, followed by Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Middle East, and then last, but certainly not least, the Americas.
This is really interesting. It's like the first console that'll have.
I think Xbox is Discord, right?
Really?
Or no,
Yes.
Xbox is its own native app.
I was like, I don't think it does. I think this is the first like native Discord on console.
Right.
Okay, Discord does
Capable.
work on Xbox.
Oh.
Oh,
It's Discord
The
has been on
second one.
Xbox since 2020. That's what I thought.
Since
Man.
2023?
So yeah.
Okay, so that's like real recent. Okay.
That's crazy.
I mean,
I mean,
real
if you
we're just
count-
waiting on the
we're-
If you count 7 months old recent, then yeah.
I do.
I'm kidding.
The game came out, yeah. Yeah, Breath of the Wild came out like so recently.
Oh yeah, super recent.
Just still new, yeah.
7 years ago.
The 7-year-old.
Man.
That's
Oh,
crazy
man.
to me.
That is
Mario Kart
crazy.
8 Mario Kart 8 is 10 years old. Mario Kart 8 is a 10-year-old game this
That's
year.
crazy.
Yeah, that makes me feel very old.
Very.
I was like, holy cow.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. But I think this is awesome, and I hope it comes to Switch. Nobody uses the Nintendo Switch app for chat.
Nobody does. No.
Does it even still work? I haven't tried it since like the Animal Crossing days, and even then
Just
it was
go
like,
back to
all right, let's just go back to Discord. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so I just think everybody should just accept the monopoly that is Discord, and we'll just all use that for voice chat.
I think a
Until-
random question that I have on this is, what is it actually going to look like? Because are you actually going to be able to like message in Discord servers, or is it just like calling friends or joining voice chats in
I think-
servers? Like,
I think it's just a voice. I don't know how the Switch app works, man.
I'm not talking.
I don't know how
I'm not
the
talking about the
PS5
Switch. I'm talking about the
either.
PS5.
It's voice chat. Yeah. PS5 is just gonna be voice chat, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, because I mean, both on PC and mobile, you have the capabilities to navigate channels and calls. I mean, the formats look different. I imagine it would be similar to the mobile
Yeah.
version of the kind of like that chat room looking thing, but you have to like open it up if you want to go to other windows. I don't know.
We'll find out.
You know what we will find
The
out stuff about
Nintendo
though?
Direct.
Okay.
The Nintendo Direct? The Nintendo Direct? Guys, I'm so
Wow.
hyped.
Yeah.
I just am like, it's been so long. Who was I talking
It
to? I
has.
think it was like the
Seriously,
last.
because we didn't have one since September of last year.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like,
February was like a partnership base.
so we're gonna get 40 minutes, and I'll be real with you guys. I have no idea what they like. I don't even know what they could go.
Metroid Prime 4.
That's
Metroid
it.
Prime 4.
But that's it, right? Like, there's nothing else.
And then we're gonna get like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remakes,
Hopefully.
or a remake
Hopefully.
of Zelda.
Yeah. That's the hope.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
You gotta get
besides
something current.
those things, I can't even like fathom. You say we got to get something Kirby, but the Switch is Kirby loaded. Like we have almost every first party Nintendo series has a game on Switch, if not multiple. Like
Almost.
Kirby.
Almost.
Well, yeah,
Star
I don't.
Fox doesn't
I don't
have
think we're
to
getting
be-
a Star Fox game.
I have
I'd be
Star
shocked. I'd be shocked.
I would be
I
shocked
want one.
too.
Can you imagine? We're like, yeah, there's not going to be anything too big except for maybe like Metroid Prime 4, and they just come out with the announcement of an entire brand new Star Fox game.
Yes, that'd be crazy.
I'm doing a fantasy league with the Radio Chaos folks, and also John and Josiah, and their team chose for this year. They drafted a new Mario Kart game and a new Smash Bros. Game.
Hey,
So
it wasn't my decision at all. Okay.
So, man, that is a bold decision.
that was all Josiah.
All I
was
did
like,
was
There's
just
no
announce.
way
That's
we're
it.
getting a new Mario Kart and Smash Bros. This year.
No.
Are you saying? I don't remember, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, probably at the time, you guys were probably in on the 2024 rumors for Switch 2.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
I was not.
Yeah. I've been a 2025 from the very beginning. From like, I was like, it's 2025 is when it's gonna come. I think I was saying that back in like 22. We're gonna get it in 2025.
I just realized something. This is going to be the last Switch era Direct.
That's crazy.
I mean, it could be because we could see something.
September Direct is it's going to show off some stuff for Switch 2 because like there might not even be a September Direct. Like we might just get a console announced in like January or something with a release on March. I don't know. But this is like the last place where they can put in games that are just everything in this Direct is specifically for Switch.
Yeah.
This is the last Switch Direct, that's insane.
It's very insane. I remember before the Switch, I was not into Nintendo all that much, but as soon as it came out, well, maybe not as soon as it came out, but like 7 years ago, in December, I got my Switch, and it's still going, actually, but yeah.
Go going.
It's still going, somehow. I do have an OG Switch, though.
Yeah, I got my Switch December of 2019. It's also an OG Switch, and the fact that I've had my Switch for more than half the lifetime of the console is crazy to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 2019 was actually still early into the console's lifespan,
Yeah.
even though it was 2 years after release.
I wanna point out here that I think there could be another Direct before they announce the Switch 2. Because my prediction was putting Switch 2 on like a similar timetable as Switch. They released it in the spring, right? In I believe April 2017.
I think it was March.
March? Okay, yeah.
so.
It was March.
So March time period for that. When they first announced the Nintendo Switch was October. And so if they have a September Direct,
True.
But if they have a September Direct, that's going to be all Switch 2 games. Is the thing. That's
that's what you
like,
mean by that.
September Direct.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know if they would show stuff, but what you're saying is those games they'll show off, but they probably won't be Switch games. They'll probably all be Switch 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Or
a
they'll
couple
run better
Switch
on
games.
Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like a good blend.
But like
of the two.
this is the big final Switch era Direct, and that's really cool and like historic,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And we're live
Unless
streaming it tomorrow.
Yeah. Unless the Switch 2 just doesn't come out next year, and we're all wrong. It's gonna be like 2026.
Imagine.
But I feel like Nintendo's officially said that it is coming next year. I think I saw.
I think what they said was that it was going to be like an announcement this fiscal year.
They're going
But
to
it-
announce it before the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
which is
That doesn't-
like April. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might not come out, to be honest. They could literally
could
wait
be
until
announced-
next April and then come out 2026 in March. I mean,
That'd be
that would suck, but
just to spite me. They're like, you said it was gonna come in 2025. Yeah. No,
psych.
it's not. Psych.
It's fun.
But yeah, I'm so excited for this Direct because, like I said, I can't really fathom what they're going to announce. The only thing they can really show that we know about is Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Prime
there's
4
a
is
lot
the
of
only thing that's announced on Switch.
yeah. I mean, we'll probably see some more Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. But beyond that, I don't know what this is going to be, and it's going to be 40 minutes long. So it's pretty hype. That's
It's
pretty
probably just gonna
hype.
be a bunch of shovelware. We're all gonna be sad.
Nintendo shovelware too. I'm kidding.
First party shovelware.
DC
Imagine
Superhero
that.
Girls Team Power 2. Everybody 3, 2, 1 Switch.
That would be
And of
funny.
course, legs.
Legs, the much anticipated sequel to Arms. Yes.
Man,
Of course.
that's funny. And then wrists, and then abs. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
They already
Isn't
have
that
abs.
just Ring Fit Adventure?
That's Ring Fit. Yeah, this
yeah,
is
true.
Ring Fit Adventure. Dude, Ring Fit 2. I would lose my mind for. I just
that's got to be I think that's gonna be a launch title for Switch 2. Like, honestly,
We'll get-
it's
we'll
either
get-
gonna be a Ring Fit 2 or like Sports Resort. It's gonna be one of those two things.
right. We're gonna
Yeah.
get some sort of fitness game because those always sell well. Like I don't know if you guys
Seriously,
knew.
I
Like
just picked
Wii
it like a few weeks
Wii Fit
So
for the Wii and Wii U both sold like crazy good, and that's with like the balance board accessory and stuff. So Nintendo's gonna just keep
yeah,
going
Wii
in
Fit
on
has
that.
20 million sales, and Wii Fit Plus also has 20 million sales. Like that's 40 million between the two Wii Fit games.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
We,
what
Wii
did Ring
U only
Fit?
got 400.
What did Ring Fit end on? I mean, it was up there in the top 10 for a long time.
Yeah, it's up there. It's at 16 million copies, which that makes sense. It wouldn't beat the Wii because just the Wii was the casual gamers' haven.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense people would buy fitness games. But still, 16 million copies. Oh, wait, that's as of March 31st, 2023. So that's even like a year ago.
Whoa.
So
Yeah. I mean, it
That's-
was straight up in the top 10 best sellers for Switch, like period, which is so funny to me.
yeah, legitimately.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's
why
out
would
now,
you say-
but it was there for a while.
Yeah, well, Pokemon made like 4 more games
Yeah,
that
it's probably
bumped everybody
than a
down.
pilot.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
One more thing that we should see on the direct. We might see some Switch footage of Lego Horizon Adventures, which I still think is really cool. That Lego Horizon Adventures, the PS5 developed game, is coming to the Switch at
What?
all.
Yeah, that is.
Like-
I didn't even think about that. Like, but Horizon's been off of been not a PlayStation exclusive for a bit, right? Because they ported both of those
Oh,
games to PC.
Oh yeah, it's on PC. It's on
Yeah.
PC, but it hasn't been on another console, like directly competing
Right.
with PlayStation, which is why it's intriguing. Yeah, so I think we could see that, and then maybe some like Sonic X Shadow Generations footage. You know, all the third party stuff. Plucky
Yeah.
Squire is another one that I think we're gonna get Plucky Squire stuff in there.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for that one. Want to see that one, and maybe like Mina the Hollower would be good to see. Although I think they did just drop. I was actually just before we were
Well,
recording.
they did a trailer. They did a
Yeah.
trailer for Mina the Hollower, but they didn't do a release date. And I'm
No, it just
wondering
says
if
coming
they're-
soon.
Yeah. They could save the release date for the direct if they go out there.
Oh, true.
Oh, and other one that I think we could definitely see here is a trailer for Deltarune's Chapter 3 and 4, because
Okay.
Chapter 4 is very close to completion from Toby Fox's devlogs. So I feel like we could see a Switch trailer for that here, and that would make me so happy.
Yeah.
I guess the big third-party pick, what do you think we're seeing Silksong or not?
No.
I don't even know what Silksong is. I'll be
Hollow
honest.
Knight. It's the Hollow Knight
Hollow Knight.
sequel.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
The one that
Perhaps.
everybody's been clamoring for at every single presentation.
It's basically the Metroid Prime 4 of indies at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went into the comments of the Wholesome Games Direct showcase, the Wholesome Games Direct, and found Silksong? No Silksong? Where's Silksong?
That's
This
funny.
is a Wholesome Games showcase. Why would they have Metroidvania? Hollow Knight sequel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, it's very wholesome, very wholesome game for sure.
People and empty like bugs and creatures and stuff.
I saw a rumor that there will be a 3DS port, and I don't know how. I mean, I don't lend too much credence to those
I
sort
really
of rumors.
hope
I wanted to
if-
hit up Icarus Uprising. That's
If it
what I
were to be
want. I really
3DS.
want to play that game.
Yeah,
it would have to be Tomodachi Life for me. in my opinion.
yeah. Let's go. Let's
It's
go.
a good
Both
game.
Of, oh, you guys both just said my top 2 picks. I was like, I want Kid Icarus Uprising, on a system that doesn't hurt your wrist to play it.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, Tomodachi Life would be so great. I didn't get to play that one on 3DS. I mean, I
Ooh.
could get it. I could get it now, I guess, but I would love to play that on Switch.
Yeah.
And the
Miitopia
other
on
thing-
Switch was so fun.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I could see for 3DS is one of my favorite games that I played this year is I played through Link Between Worlds.
Oh.
And that could be like get Grezzo on that remake and have it
Yeah.
look as good as Link's Awakening does.
Yeah.
That could be really cool.
Yeah.
3DS
I mean,
remake.
Sure.
Hey, that lends well into our topic after talking about games
Yeah.
we're playing.
Hey,
but
that's,
yeah.
that's a topic. Literally.
Yeah, I would be down for that for sure. This is the perfect kind of direct because I'm going in with basically zero expectations. I have nothing that I'm like looking forward to except for Metroid Prime 4. But I mean, I've been looking forward to Metroid Prime 4 for 7 years. so it's like I'm going in with like no, oh, I hope I see news about the new Zelda, or I hope I see this or that. I'm going in with I don't know what I'm gonna see.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
So everything is just gonna be a pleasant surprise.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen on the third party side, and then I have my theories for the first party side. But yeah, and you
Indeed.
guys already know it because this episode is coming out after, so you probably just like listen to our entire discussion and be like, yeah, that's right, that's wrong, that is very wrong. How did you nail that on the head so much? Like that's exactly what happened.
Huh.
That's probably what was going through your head. And of course, the ones that were nailed on the head were all of my predictions because
Right.
I'm
Right.
smart.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the
Right.
magnificent.
He is truly.
Exactly.
Truly.
Well, with that, we're going to move into what we've been picking up lately and playing. So, first up, I've been playing Paper Mario Color Splash.
Oh, I'm
It
so
is
sorry.
not as bad as I was saying in my ranked video. It is not that
Oh, I'm
bad.
so sorry.
It's bad,
It's
but it's
worse.
not that bad. I mean,
I actually like
it's mid.
both Seth and Nat from All In both argue that that game is actually like has a lot of good ideas. The only problem with it is the battle system.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah. I would agree wholeheartedly with that. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it looks beautiful. I think the writing's pretty well done. Soundtrack's excellent.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's some like fun story elements to it, but that combat system is so atrociously bad that it makes me angry to play that game. And I'm not someone that's like gosh, those like YouTuber guys that just, like rage on games like, oh, I hate this. This is the only
It's
game.
not Thousand Year Door, so therefore it's bad.
Yeah, this is the only game I think I've ever played that has legitimately made me mad to play. I'm just like, this is so frustrating and dumb.
Yeah.
It's like,
Obviously, you haven't played Metroid Dread.
no, I love Metroid Dread.
I got lost in the demo for that game, so
I'll admit I had to call my co-host Micah quite a bit for help, but I did like it. I'm sorry to completely derail you here, John, talking about
No
Color
worries.
Splash. That's just one I'm passionately not a fan of.
Totally.
I'm passionate about how bad this is.
You know what isn't bad, though? Mario Kart.
Mario
And-
Kart 8 Deluxe.
Well, you're right about that. There are some bad Mario Kart games. Super Circuit, for example.
Bro.
But basically, I've been playing every single Mario Kart game for the sake of Ranked, which is my show.
Is Super Circuit the Game
That's the
Boy
GBA
Advance
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did the
It's-
best one that they had.
Yeah. It basically just feels like a reimagining of Super Mario Kart, but it's
Yeah.
just worse, if that makes sense. So
Yes. No, I agree with that sentiment for sure. Yeah.
every Mario Kart game and Paper Mario Color Splash. What about you, Presto?
Wait, I wanted to ask you again because you were saying that Paper Mario is not as bad as you said in your ranked video. Like what was the redeeming nature of it for you?
It was, I feel like, in my mind, because I hadn't actually played it and I just kind of went with what people were saying in the ranked video. My expectations were, if you don't have paint, you can't fight. But that's kind of not true. It's more if you don't have cards, you can't fight. And to
Yeah.
be honest, I didn't really feel like I was going to run out of paint anyway. That's kind of just, I don't know. I didn't really have that many expectations, to be honest. Just, I don't know. It just wasn't as bad as I expected.
Yeah, it's one of the for that reason I kind of want to give Sticker Star a try someday. I
Yeah.
never played it just because of the negative backlash that it's gotten, and
Right.
and then I hear people say, "Oh, yeah, Color Splash is very similar to that," and I go, "Oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to play it. I don't
Yeah.
want to play that because I seriously like Color Splash. There is 0 point to the battles. There, you don't gain anything from
Right.
fighting.
There really
so
isn't, yeah.
you spend most of the
Yeah.
game just kind of It gets to a point where I was just like, I'm just avoiding all fights.
And that's not fun. Like, if you're playing an RPG, the point is that you're getting into the fight, and the battle system has to be fun. Which is my complaint with Pokemon. But I'm not going to get into that.
Oh no! I was like, yeah, I'm on board with this until that last statement. No, I don't agree with that.
I talked about that on the latest Off the Wall episode. We went on a rant. We went a bit off the wall, and I went on a rant about how I don't like any Pokemon games except for Arceus. But we're gonna move on to what I've been playing. If you want to hear that, you can listen to it there. What I've been playing. So I played some Vampire Survivors, and I've been playing that multiplayer just with like local co-op friends in the basement. You know, having a good time playing Vampire Survivors. Very addicting, very fun game.
It's tough in the
everything
multiplayer.
That you've heard about that game. It is a lot. It's tougher in some ways and it's easier in some ways because when you're in multiplayer, you only get 2 unlockable items instead of your usual 8. So you have to really specify what your character wants it to be, and you have to build around the team as opposed to building around the one person. But it's very fun.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Speaking
of a good time, my next Pros and Joy-Cons video is on Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I am about 15 hours and 5 chapters into that game, and I'm loving it. It's very fun. Love the battle system. Love the characters. I have some complaints. Like, there are things that I would complain about, and I will address those in the videos, but I'm still really enjoying the game and having a great time with it. On Steam, I remembered that I had the game Gurumin: A Monstrous Adventure, which is like an old-style JRPG platformer, like PSP game that was ported over to Steam for some reason. And I just have that on my Steam, so I played like maybe an hour of that. It's a pretty fun game. If you're looking for an old-style PSP platformer, there you go. That's there. And then in between Thousand Year Door sessions, because I was like, I played 4 hours of this game, I need to take a break. I played like 30 minutes of Planet Alpha, which is a very beautiful like 2D physics-based platformer. It's good. It's a good time. And then I also, for Off the Wall, the YouTube channel that we have a series Off the Wall Live where currently it's just Logan 2 and 3 forcing me to play horror games. So I played through Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 and almost like died. And then I've been playing through FNAF Security Breach, which is legitimately not as scary whatsoever. Like I got scared by a door once, but that's about it. I haven't gotten scared by any of the animatronics. It's actually pretty fun. Like, I'm not hating my playthrough of it, surprisingly. Awesome. But that's also because I have all my friends watching me play the game and helping me with the puzzles and stuff, because otherwise I would get stuck so fast.
Yeah.
But that's been fun. You can find that on the Off the Wall YouTube channel. I've just been playing through that. And then we also, at the same time, well, not at the same time, but like the same play session, we played some Smash Tour in Super Smash Bros. 4.
Oh, it's so fun.
Wii U.
Yeah.
Smash Tour is such a fun mode. It's like Mario Party plus Smash Bros. And sort of has like the one mode in Ultimate where you have like, you pick 5 different fighters and you go between them. It's very fun, and I kind of wish that it was in Ultimate because it's just a very good time. Pop in like 30 minutes, do Smash 4, and just have a good time doing that.
Now, remind me, Smash Tour is the one where you're running around and collecting power-ups at the start?
You're on a board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's an exclusive mode for the Wii U, and then there's also an exclusive mode for the 3DS, if I am remembering correctly.
Okay. So this is the Wii U exclusive mode.
This was the one with the board. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a board. You run around. You collect power-ups, and that will like give you stat boost, or you're also collecting fighters to use in the final battle at the end of the game, and whoever survives that battle the longest wins.
See, I really like the 3DS one as well. You play in the beginning, you're just running around like fighting like random enemies, and they will drop different stat boosts. Yes, and then
that one's really fun.
And then at the end, you guys all fight in a battle with the stat boosts that you collected. So I like that one a lot. It also has it has like enemies. I think it had re-deads in it, and that I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Put in some Zelda stuff. I'm sold.
It's almost Subspace Emissary. Like, it's the same 2D, like going around a map I remember correctly.
Yeah. Good old Subspace Emissary. I miss that. Like I miss the adventure mode. Ultimate's story mode was pretty fun, but
Yeah.
I did like those old modes. Wish they were still around.
Yep. It's fun to have something closer to that. But we got World of Light. We got something. It's there.
Right.
And then today, I went to a Staples to buy a new printer because our printer decided to, a child may or may not have put candy into the printer, and the printer stopped working. Funny story.
It doesn't make more candy. It doesn't make more candy. Well, dang it!
Oh, it
Man.
doesn't print candy.
I thought you could print candy.
Come on, man.
That's probably the logic, honestly. He's 3 years old. Yes, we went to Staples to get a new printer, and like looking, they have a Nintendo section, and they're all full price, like $60 games, and see your normal like your Mario Kart, your Smash Bros, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Party Superstars, everything you'd expect to see. And there's only like 6 games there, and I was telling that to somebody who I was with, and one of the employees was like, "Oh yeah, we have more games in the clearance section. Yeah, I think there's a couple games for like $20, right?" So I go to the clearance section, and they have both Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Fire Emblem Engage for $20 each.
No!
Wow.
I need to go to a Staples right now.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Serious.
Let's take a break from the episode
I
and take a
paid
trip to Staples.
$40 for 2 first-party Switch games.
That's crazy.
And they're both
sick.
like games that I had on my list.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
there's my funny buying story. I'm probably not going to play these games for actual months, but I have them now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Return to Dreamland Deluxe isn't too long. Fire Emblem Engage, I think, is a pretty full-size game.
Return to
But yeah.
Dreamland Deluxe is Kirby's Return to Dreamland is my favorite Kirby game. So I'm
I was gonna say, I think it's my favorite one on Switch. I mean, I do really like Forgotten Land, but this one's
Forgotten Land is my number 2.
Yeah, Forgotten
Like-
Land's just a very different thing. This, Return to Dreamland's like peak 2D Kirby, I think.
I agree. It's the best 2D Kirby game. Don't at me. Or do. I don't care. I will argue on behalf of Return to Dreamland. So I'm especially excited to play the Magolor epilogue to that, just because more content for one of my favorite games of all time.
Nice.
Exactly.
So there you go. That's all I've played and picked up.
Awesome.
I want to do a go back here for you. So, Vampire Survivors. Did you pick up any of the DLC for Vampire Survivors?
I picked up the emergency meeting DLC.
All right, let's go.
I couldn't not pick up the emergency meeting DLC because it's funny.
I have played all of the DLC for Vampire Survivors. I mean, I still have things to unlock and characters to unlock, but I've picked up, I think there's 3, maybe 4 DLC packs. I got the Contra one that just dropped. All of them are really, all of them are really fun. I just really like that game. So any more I can do with it, I'm like,
More content.
yeah, $2,
please.
$2 for a DLC pack. I'll toss that way.
Yeah.
It's fun. And Paper Mario, is this your first time playing Thousand Year Door?
I play I share the story on BitHarmony. Actually, I called them with a voicemail. In 2020, I broke both of my arms and I couldn't play like platformers or Mario Kart or anything. So I got Thousand Year Door, and I got like probably 2 chapters into the game, but I really enjoyed what I played of it. And then, so now I've gotten to the point where I've gone further.
You broke both of your arms.
Yes, and because
Is
of that,
this
I
like-
ended up playing Thousand Year Door.
Okay, I mean, some context here for people listening, because you had to cancel for recording last week for this episode
Because my brother broke both his wrists.
Is this like
Wow.
a family tradition to break limbs
the best
and
part is
double
he's
break?
This was 4 years ago, so my brother is now the age that I was when I broke both of my arms.
Ooh.
Like, it's legitimately like the same age.
Plot twist.
What are the odds?
I think your family may be cursed. You need to anybody younger that is going to be at that age point. You just need to keep them inside for that
You'd be
whole
very
year.
concerned.
You can't go out. Well, I broke mine because I flew over the handlebars of my bike. He broke his because he fell off the brand new electric scooter he got the day before. So,
Oh.
he was being more unsafe.
That's why we play video games. We don't go outside. You know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's how we
Exactly.
keep. That's how we keep
That's the lesson I learned.
the children
I broke
safe.
both my arms. I broke both my arms, and I never went outside again. I played 1,000-year door instead.
All right. Well, so I this kind of segues into me what I've been picking up and playing. I didn't put this on the list because I finished it, but Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I just finished my just a couple weeks ago. I finished my first playthrough. I'd never played Thousand Year Door prior to the Switch remake, and man, I love it. It was so fun. I definitely think it's the best in the series. So I'm coming in with no bias of nostalgia because I didn't play it.
What other games have you played in the series?
I played the original. I played Super on the Wii, Color Splash, Origami King, and now Thousand Year
Okay. So you played all of them except for Sticker Star.
I played all of them except for Sticker Star. You're right. Yep. Yeah, and Thousand
need
Year
to go
Door,
back
I think was definitely my favorite of the series. Now there's like arguments to be made for any one of the games, but I think it's kind of peak for that original Paper Mario and it's the perfect sequel to the original Paper Mario, I think. Super just takes it in a completely different direction, and it was still fun. I still had a good time with it, but it's not quite the same
It's not the
as
same
an
type
RPG.
of gameplay, yeah.
Color Splash I could do without. I mean, I feel like Color Splash walked so that Origami King could run. You know, Origami King kind of follows a very similar art style.
Okay.
And
Completely different battle.
yes, Origami's battle system I think is pretty good. It's pretty fun. By the end of the game, I'm done with it. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is kind of overstayed its welcome. I don't want another sequel like that.
Right.
Whereas like Thousand Year Door, I'm like, I want more. I want more of this system. I want more like this. That's just
For sure.
Yeah.
but
And you should
besides,
play Mario and Luigi. Just
Yes,
play Mario
yes.
and Luigi.
yes, I actually did start it on NSO when it dropped for Game Boy Advance, the Mario and Luigi game there, but
Superstar
I
Saga.
haven't gotten back to it. But I need to.
Also, if you want something that's very Paper Mario inspired, I haven't actually played it, but I hear Seth yell it out every time he can. Bug Fables is Bug
Yeah,
Fables
I
Everlasting
need to give it a shot.
is supposed to be better than every Paper Mario game. So there's that for you.
I mean, Seth has wrong opinions sometimes, so I'm just
True.
kidding. Just
It's
kidding,
also on
Seth, if you're listening.
Look it up. Seth's like,
What did I do? I'm just catching strays.
that game is on sale for $15 instead of $25. I am very tempted. I'm very
I do
tempted
not
to
have
buy-
time for it at the moment because I am too busy playing the same game that I play all the time, which is Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I've been playing a lot of. Currently working through a Minoru only run where I have to just use Minoru to run through the entire Yiga Kohga quest line. And my gosh, it sucks. It's so brutal because Minoru is just very slow. Very slow. But it's fun. It's fun because it's like hard mode, Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
I
Beyond that,
agree, and I completely know what you're saying. This definitely totally. I've played this game more than 5 hours. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm good. I'm planning on playing more Tears of the Kingdom over the summer. I want to do it in like August. I just haven't had this time because I've been playing some of the other games.
I learned that through doing this run, I'm playing on a fresh file, and I got Minoru first, which is not the intended route at all. It's very sequence breaking.
Oh.
I mean, like spoilers for Presto and for other people like Tears of the Kingdom. There's the 4 sages that you have to collect, and Minoru is the 5th. And you usually get Minoru last, but you can get to that early using. It's not a glitch even. I'm just using Ascend and a clever build to get through the doorway that you shouldn't be able to get through.
Okay.
So that's how I did it. Did the Minoru's temple early and unlocked being able to use Minoru. Before I unlocked any of the map of the underground, I got Minoru.
Awesome.
Which is kind of crazy. Besides that, I just finished up my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. I was playing that with a group of buddies from college, and we all, most of us made it. One bowed out after Act 2. The game has 3 acts, and he was like, I'm just not feeling it, guys. But it really has an epic ending. I feel like wraps everything up pretty nicely. The final boss, not as hard as some of the lead-up fights, for sure. Like, it was actually felt a little too easy for the end game boss. But I'm going to go back through with my Nintendo Pals co-host. We're planning on doing a honor run, which is permadeath, essentially, for Baldur's Gate 3. That should be fun. Besides that, I started doing some Mario 64 speed runs. I was kind of trying to learn how to do a 0-1-star run. And then just for fun, doing the old 16-star route, which I learned to do when I raced against good buddy Cosmic, Mario speedrunner. I did a tag team race with my co-host, and I did the Mario 64 portion. It was a lot of fun. I like speedrunning that game. I think that game's really fun. The movement is really fun. Camera. The camera is. I mean, it's trash. The camera really struggles, but the movement feels good.
As is the rest of the game. So, you know.
No, the game's good. It's good.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, I like Mario 64. And, I mean, so does the speedrunning community. I think that's the most popular speedrun game ever, which...
Okay. I honestly wouldn't have guessed that.
But... Odyssey's up there, too, I think. Like, as far as Nintendo games go.
What
Mario
was
Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey?
Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey doesn't have as many into it, and I think that's just because of the nature of how long of a run it is. Like the any % run is pretty lengthy. But Mario 64, Mario 64, they're now doing the like full game in an hour, which is just insane.
Odyssey is sub-hour. Like any % speed runs are an hour.
Yeah, but it's definitely not as popular of a speed run as Mario 64, and I think that's just time, right? Yeah, that's just time. Like the game's been out longer, and it's got a big speedrunning scene. There's a ton of people running it, but yeah, there's like I was gonna say, there's that game. I think another one that's like really popular to run is Ocarina of Time. Used to be really popular to run, but that one sort of died once they figured out arbitrary code execution. But like Super Metroid is another one. There's like a lot of these like classic games that just have a really big speedrun scene. Mario 64 is one of those.
Yeah.
And then last, I'll highlight on what I've been playing is I finally got to try out Gloomhaven on the Nintendo Switch, and awesome. I like Gloomhaven. I think it's a really fun game. If you haven't heard of it, it's originally a board game, like a big tabletop RPG style board game that works really well as a video game just because it's very complicated, and so the video game kind of helps run the like
so that you don't have to do this many things around.
Yeah, you just have to learn the mechanics of your cards, like, and building your it's kind of deck builder like, but you also have like a guy with stats that you're leveling up as you go. This is my first time playing it on Switch, and I gotta say the Switch port has some flaws. Mainly, I think accessibility-wise, it's pretty bad. Okay. There is no text size adjustment, and the text is pretty small. So,
so it's a Fire Emblem Three Houses situation.
It's hard to read some of the cards and things. I mean, it's definitely doable, but I think that not having the ability to make the text bigger is pretty inexcusable for a game so reading heavy and with such small text. So I will put it up there that like I don't know if picking this up on Switch is the best, but I did like being able to play comfortably on the couch versus having to be up at my computer. And I learned that the Switch has like a built-in system accessibility feature where you can zoom in. You have to enable it in the options, but it's
if you
like
double press the home button.
Yes. Yeah, I had no idea that existed until I was looking up how to be able to play that game better. So, and that's it for me.
Awesome. Well, with that, we're going to move into the GCP topic of today, the future of The Legend of Zelda. First off, I guess, just what do you think we could see first in The Legend of Zelda next? This is a broad question, but it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm curious. I can talk forever on this topic, so I'm curious to hear what Presto as to his thoughts here. Someone maybe less invested in Zelda and more invested in Kirby. Something. Some
Yeah.
other C tier Nintendo. No, I'm just kidding.
Man.
Just kidding.
I think Zelda's an S tier franchise. I just can't get into it.
That's
Although
fair.
Link Between Worlds is my favorite game that I've played this year so far. So there, you get that.
Okay.
So you have a complicated relationship with Zelda for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Safe to say
Uh,
that.
So, well, I think that the series has had a very unique and distinct like development cycle, right? There's not a ton of Zelda games.
Right.
Like when you look at Nintendo's other cash cow, Mr. Mario gets a lot of games, mainline and I mean spin-offs out the wazoo. But we don't see the same for Zelda, and Zelda doesn't seem like it's really on much of like a release schedule, a regular release schedule. Because there are times that we're waiting
I
like
feel like they try to release something Zelda every year. They don't always do it, but like generally.
do they? Because
Like think about it. Let me look up Zelda games on the Switch. Because obviously, we had Breath of the Wild in 2017.
and Tears of the Kingdom in 2023.
Yes, duh. 2018 we had. I know we definitely had some.
I don't think so.
Was there
Scripted-
Tears
was
of the
the
King?
game
Or
Hyrule?
Oh yeah, you have the DLC. Did the DLC come in 2018?
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
was thinking.
Yes, there's that. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Breath of the Wild DLC is 2018. 2019 is Link's Awakening.
I forget about Hyrule Warriors. Fills in those gaps
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
That one was fun. Like
about Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity.
Age
Well,
of
dang,
Calamity.
Yeah,
this
'cause-
just disproves my entire point that I was trying to make at the beginning here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there actually is a
sorry.
lot of Zelda
The,
games on Switch.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition was 2018. Yeah. And then Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was 2020, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And then 2021 we had was 2021 or 2022 Skyward Sword?
I don't remember.
2022, I believe. I believe it came out right before.
No, that was 2021. And
That
they
long
were
ago?
gonna have Tears of the Kingdom be 2022, but it got delayed. So
You are
Tears of the
right.
Kingdom
You're
wasn't delayed, if Tears of the Kingdom wasn't delayed, we would have a Zelda game every year for the Switch.
Yeah.
Well, did we have one last year aside from Tears of the Kingdom?
No, it was just Tears of the Kingdom. But they probably would have put out Wind Waker.
But yeah, okay.
True.
Hold on, John. I mean,
Sorry,
one a year. No.
Sorry.
Do we have another one? Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, so they release the Zelda game pretty much every year.
You're right. But I only thought of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I was like, no, we don't. We only got two.
Yeah.
So for their mainline titles, I mean, there's huge gaps, right?
Right.
Like between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild was I'm not even gonna try and remember when Skyward Sword came out, but
Yeah.
I mean, like Zelda's notorious for delaying the game. They've had multiple games that ended up released cross-generational because the game got delayed.
Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild. There you go.
Yeah, they got delayed so late that the next system came out, and they're like, well, pivot,
Yeah.
making up for that too.
Another thing that I find, this is completely random by the way, but our one guest not last episode, the episode before, Caden McKay mentioned that Twilight Princess is the only Zelda game that has been on 3 consoles, I think.
True. Well, unless you count Virtual Console, because you could
Fair
argue like Zelda
Fair
1
point.
is on like 17.
Yeah, if that's
like,
the case.
That's gotten a full like physical release on 3 consoles.
Yeah.
Twilight.
Well, no.
Well, actually, there is Hyrule Warriors.
Ocarina of Time was released.
Ocarina of Time has gotten a physical. You're right, because it got the Master Collection game.
Yeah, it has an N64, GameCube, 3DS,
Oh,
And
yeah, that's
then-
true.
Those,
and then Virtual Console.
Never mind
if
then.
we're not counting Virtual Console.
Take that.
There's
What
Ocarina.
was the guest?
Caden
Take that,
McKay.
Caden. Yeah.
Take that, Caden McKay, who
You're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
you shouldn't insult him. He has 40 million listens on Spotify, on, like his most popular song. So maybe not the person to insult live on a podcast.
It's all right.
I heard controversy actually is very good for getting more clicks. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Punch up.
In this
is-
episode, we insulted Caden McKay.
Next time we insult Elon Musk. I mean, that's not hard to do, actually. Yeah.
That's not that hard to do at all.
But the future of Zelda, I think they've done they've stuck pretty regular to having in each generation since doing. Wait, take back everything I said. But we have a 2D Zelda and a 3D Zelda, and they seem to release those kind of in tandem. But
we haven't had I think they're trying to like separate them so that we can have smaller 2D Zelda releases and then a larger 2D Zelda release, and then also the remakes. And so I think it's been, we haven't had a new 2D Zelda since 2019, and that was the Link's Awakening remake. So we really haven't had a new 2D Zelda since Link Between Worlds came out in, I think, 2013, I want to say. Yeah, 2013. So it's been over 11 years since we've had a brand new 2D Zelda.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they were cranking them out in the DS and 3DS era. I mean, we got a bunch. I can't believe that we got Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks on DS. And then Triforce Heroes, Link Between Worlds. They were cranking them out during that era.
Yeah. But we just haven't had any, and I think that'd be a good honestly, system launcher is to have a new 2D Zelda. You can't have a new 3D Zelda there. But you could have a new 2D Zelda developed by Grezzo, the people who did the Link's Awakening remake. Oh, there you go. We got a Zelda game.
I don't think that the 2D Zeldas have as wide of a market appeal as 3D Zeldas.
Right. They're definitely more niche.
People don't know. People wouldn't be like, "Oh, it's a 2D Zelda, gross." They'd be like, "New Zelda game, Switch 2. I'm getting the Switch 2."
True.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. I think that we'll continue to see that, even though we haven't. But I mean, they did basically with the Link's Awakening remake. That was that's a full-fledged remake. That doesn't look a thing like the original. Right. That was pretty in depth. I think we'll continue to see them make and be working on a new 3D Zelda and new 2D Zeldas. There was a time period where we thought 2D Mario was dead. It wasn't going to come. Huh. And then they released New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And actually, no, prior to that, it was just New Super Mario Bros. on the DS.
Okay.
New Super Zelda coming to...
Well, I don't think Zelda has...
sanitized style.
Yeah, Zelda's never had that. They've never had I guess they're done making 2D Zeldas, except for maybe the N64 era.
Yeah, we still haven't got maybe they are, because we haven't gotten into new official brand new 2D Zelda game. I could see them just be like, oh yeah, we'll just remake Oracle of Ages, we'll just remake Minish Cap, They could do that. Yeah, but we also got for a first ever on Switch with the Cadence of Hyrule.
True.
So we can see
more
stuff like that.
I haven't played that game. What is it about?
It's a rhythm game that you are it's sort of a dungeon crawly.
So you're basically playing a 2D Zelda, but you have to make sure that you do all of your actions and commands to the beat of the music.
Whoa, that actually sounds really cool.
It's very fun.
It's really
I
that's actually on my list of games that I want to play through as well.
If you haven't played Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is what it's a Crypt of the Necrodancer game. It's the perfect blend of that and a 2D Zelda game.
Okay.
Crypt of the Necrodancer is randomly generated. I don't think that is the case for Cadence of Hyrule at any point. Okay. It's a set map, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome.
So my personal opinion, I think that we will definitely continue to see the 2D Zelda and 3D Zelda being developed in tandem and coming out kind of staggered releases.
Right.
I kind of looking at lore and story, I kind of think we will see a third game in the Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild continuity.
I have to bring this up every single episode, but I have a kind of theory on this.
Okay.
I have a biased opinion. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is that third game. Now,
that's it isn't part of the canon technically because of things that happen,
right?
But also it kind of is. It's you have your original trilogy, that's your Breath of the Wild, and you have your prequel trilogy with Age of Calamity, and then your sequel trilogy. Except for, unlike the sequel trilogy, Tears of the Kingdom is actually good.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like Age of Calamity just operates more as like a prequel trilogy,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like as a full blown sequel, and there would be a trilogy after that. And the reason I say that is because we haven't seen the Triforce in
That's true.
I
will say
of
that
those.
The Triforce is represented by the 3 colors, and the 3 colors are in those 3 games. Hyrule Warriors is red, Breath of the Wild is blue, and Tears of the Kingdom is green. Those 3 colors are
that's true.
I don't know. That's just a random thing.
Yeah, and Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of the Kingdom's ending definitely feels very final. But
right.
I'm shocked that the Triforce wasn't in any capacity. I mean, the symbolism of it is everywhere, and that's such.
Doesn't actually have any credence in the plot.
It does. It does in every other Zelda game.
Yeah.
Is the thing. It's like it's central to the plot of Ocarina of Time. It's pretty important to the plots of Wind Waker, they send you on a whole dang fetch quest to put it together. Skyward Sword, it's a big plot point. So I'm just like, it's such a staple of the series that but also they did say with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they wanted to move away from what makes Zelda.
Right.
But I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if that's necessarily. I feel like the Triforce is not a thing to move away from. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that's important to the lore and canon.
Yeah.
So it could be something like we saw with Skyward Sword, or I think this is even kind of as a Link. Oh my gosh, Link to the Past. Gosh, my brain just stopped. Link to the Past, where it's like an enemy comes in trying to revive Ganon or Ganondorf. Especially since we have with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Ganon dies and Ganondorf dies, to see someone try and resurrect him using the Triforce or something like that.
Yeah,
could be. And it feels
that's an interesting theory.
And it feels like there was concept art. I'm a big nerd. I've looked through like the Hyrule Historia and all of those. There's concept art originally for Divine Beast that was going to be oceanic, and they really didn't do too much with water in either of these games. So I could see there being more of a ocean focus for a future 3D Zelda if they wanted to continue in the same trilogy.
Right.
Or quadrilogy, since we're since we're throwing in Age of Calamity.
Yeah. It's all right.
I think there's more to see with that world, but I also could see them just being like, no, we're just making a all new game.
Yeah.
What do you guys think for next 3D Zelda? Are they gonna stick with the open world?
I think they're going. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna stick with the same amount of freedom that Breath of the Wild has, but they're gonna do it in a completely different and innovative way, a completely new land, and a completely new art style. I think that they know we did the best that we could, like push Breath of the Wild to its limit with Tears of the Kingdom, and they know that if they just keep pushing, they won't end up with something that's quite as special. And for me, it's like you have to move on and do something different, something new, something exciting, while also exploring some old stuff in the past as well.
Yeah, you gotta have the really out there kind of stylistic changes. That is like platinum to the Zelda series, right? Like they wildly change up the graphical quality game to game. I mean, we went from Majora's Mask to Wind Waker. And Wind Waker to Twilight Princess, and like all of those have such a drastically different looking style to them. And then Twilight Princess to Skyward Sword, very different look.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see what you're saying, Presto. They do something just like very different, but maintain that same freedom.
Personally, I feel like freedom is a must now that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom haven't, like, if you're gonna
even
right.
Link Between Worlds is now my favorite Zelda game, like, period. Sorry, Breath of the
Okay.
Wild. I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom again, but
It's all right.
I liked Link Between Worlds better than Breath of the Wild. And that game, once you get past like the sort of intro tutorial of the game, it lets you go into any dungeon you want in any order. And that like sense of freedom still has to be there, and that's what makes it cool.
Yeah, but
I
in
like
those
it.
cases, the dungeons are still quite linear, right?
True.
Yeah,
Like
the
once
dungeons
you pick,
themselves are linear.
yeah.
And I want more linear dungeons like that because I actually kind of prefer specifically Link Between Worlds style, because when I did Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I was confused, I was lost, I didn't know where I was going, I couldn't get past the first dungeon in either of those games. But like very straightforward, yet still filled with puzzles.
That's crazy. That you would say. Because, I mean, those are both games that people absolutely love the dungeons for. Everybody's like, I want more. I mean, I think Twilight Princess for sure has like the most variety between designs of dungeons. Like, it's crazy. But you're 100% right. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, those dungeons aren't linear at all, really.
Right.
It's, I mean, the path up to it. No, even the path up to it. I mean, you could just be like, skip that. I'm just gonna air balloon my way up to the thing I need to get to.
I feel like my favorite dungeon in Breath of the Wild was Thunderblight, and that was the most complicated one in the game. So, I don't know. I want them to bring back more traditional dungeons.
Yeah.
But also, I'm happy with whatever they give us.
Where did you get to in Tears
believe-
of the Kingdom?
I got off of the Sky Islands and got a glider.
Perfect.
It's about
Yeah,
it.
I think that I mean, and I don't know how you feel about it, John, but like I think that the Tears of the Kingdom dungeons took a step back to being more traditional.
I do agree with you there. Yeah.
No.
But they still kind of maintain that, like, they felt like Breath of the Wild dungeons. Just more classic. Unique.
Yeah. They were definitely more unique. Like I think the interior of each of the
That was
Divine
most
Beasts
people's
looks.
problem.
Yeah.
That was most people's problem with the Breath of the Wild dungeons. Is like each Divine Beast looks so similar, and I agree
Yeah.
that is a problem. They should have made something to them out more. Yeah, I think that the next 3D Zelda has to not be Breath of the Wild in order to succeed. That's my pitch.
Well, I mean,
Not be Breath.
but that's what people said. But then, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild again, but better. I think.
Well, yeah, exactly. But can you make Tears of the Kingdom but better?
I didn't think
you
that was
expand-
possible for Breath of the Wild, really. I mean,
I didn't think so either.
I was like, I mean, I guess besides what we just said, we're like, yeah, it'd be nice if the dungeons were a little more unique and the boss battles were a little more unique.
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom came in and they're like, well, yeah, we're gonna fix those things. Also, there's a whole map in the sky.
Red.
And underground.
There's
Yes,
yeah.
I mean,
like,
I went underground and my mind was blown. I was, it shattered. I was like, they have a whole nother map down here. It's the same size as the overworld, and I mean,
Yes.
so I wouldn't put it past them to be able to take Tears of the Kingdom and somehow improve upon that to make something even
like
cooler.
If they said that they were going to do that, then yeah, I believe that they can do that. I have full faith in the team. But I think it was I forget who it was, but like I think it was Miyamoto actually who said you shouldn't make a sequel to something if it doesn't need a sequel.
Right. I also think
Like-
he
Yeah,
said...
but that's why we got all these bad Paper Mario games. I mean,
True.
that's Miyamoto's fault.
they're
That's on him.
They're
I think-
trying something new. I mean that is like legitimately. He didn't want 1,000 Year Door to be made until the story is that he didn't want 1,000 Year Door to be made until he saw like footage of 50 dry bones running around the screen. He's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, sure, you can make it.
Wow.
Like that was his.
Man.
He just liked a lot of things running around the screen. I mean, look at that era.
He
did
loves
Pikmin,
Toad.
He did the Mario 158.
He just loves
demo.
Toad.
Another thing that I think Miyamoto said was that he finds the Tears of the Kingdom game to be basically complete. I think he said that. And so they're not going to
It was a
release any
Miyamoto.
DLC for it.
Oh yes, yeah.
yeah, we're not putting any DLC in it because this is already perfect the way that it is.
Right.
There's like a lot of people argue that Tears of the Kingdom was just DLC for Breath of the Wild, when in reality it's completely not, like, at all.
I don't think
Yeah.
you could say that.
I
Yeah,
feel like
but
it'd be
yeah.
hard-
Josiah
it'd
is
make
a
another
firm
Tears of the-
believer of that, I think. Well, either that or he was just being sarcastic the entire time to bug me. Maybe that.
That does sound like co-host behavior for sure.
Yeah.
Fair
You
point.
know, you have Micah.
I know that is my co-host's entire personality. It feels like. Oh, I could throw him under the bus. But yeah, I don't know what they could do really. I'm sitting here. I want to come to this point here. This the Chat GPT generated point of expansion of lore. I love this sentence. Zelda has always been deeply grounded in its lore.
Yes. It's a beautiful sentence.
Said
I
no
deleted
one
everything
ever.
else.
Said no one ever. What is
It's
this?
more grounded than Triforce, 3 triangles, each representing a different aspect of humanity, right? And then we're gonna have a Demon King, and then like a little boy come out, and he just fights the Demon King. But there's also an elf princess there who gets kidnapped, and yeah.
I just think
That's
that the
down to earth.
lore is famously not well connected. Like
True.
it's. I mean, they
Like you look at
they
Kirby lore.
shoehorn.
Kirby lore.
Yeah,
Kirby
let's
lore,
compare it to
everything's
a game with real lore. Kirby.
Kirby, everything is for purpose. Everything has details. Everything points towards the next game of the series and how that can further deepen the lore, and everything is connected, like tightly interwoven. If Kirby lore is a sweater, Zelda lore is like a few pieces of yarn that are stitched together, like barely, by a couple pieces of gum.
Okay, okay.
I mean, there's lore there, but I feel like it's not primary to what the Zelda series is first and foremost about the gameplay and the experience there, and the stories are very self-contained to their game, and the whole like split the timeline in 3 and where the games fall in the timeline was all shoehorned after. Like they were never designed with that in mind, really. And you see it with like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Where do those take place on the timeline? And they're just like after.
Somewhere.
Yeah, they're like after everything else in the future. We're like, okay, which branch?
When, though?
All of them. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
When though?
And then you're in Breath of the Wild, and you're dealing with ancient civilizations and things that didn't exist, like the Yiga clan, not the
Right.
Yiga clan, the Sheikah, the ancient Sheikah tech with the.
And then when you get to Tears of the Kingdom, the Sheikah are just gone and completely.
They're gone.
replaced.
They're like, okay, we're out of here.
See ya.
All traces of
Different
Sheikah
race.
technology are gone, and their lore explanation for that is that they just disappeared one day, and nobody questioned it. That is legitimately what Nintendo said happened, and I mean,
Wow.
if you can say that, then you can't really take it serious as a whole on the lore. I wish
Fair
they
point.
did, because I love a good story, and I love lore and games and fun, and I find a lot of joy in that in the Zelda series. Like
Same here.
I have a blast with it. So I wish it was taken more seriously, but I just don't think it ever will be.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they'll be
Maybe
contained.
that's the next Zelda game. We get like a timeline hopping Zelda game where you go revisit a bunch of old locations from a bunch of different Zelda
Avengers Endgame style.
games.
You're
Yeah,
like-
literally just Avengers Endgame. You can, like try to combine because the universe is breaking because of the amount of timelines, and you have to combine all the timelines into one and get the one prime link. You have like that Avengers Endgame portal moment, except for it's just a bunch of links riding in on Epona.
It'd be funny to see,
links.
but I don't
yeah.
see that ever happening. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
Nintendo should hire me. I've never played I played decent.
Yeah, they should
Zelda
hire you to write the lore of Zelda. The
Oh,
one
yeah.
that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
played like any of those games.
games. Yeah, I'll just basically copy and paste the Kirby lore.
There you go.
Nice. That's a good strategy. I like it.
Link is actually a dark
kidding.
god that was born out of the happiness of the entire universe. Fun fact.
I enjoy lore wise that Link in each age is like I mean, the spirit of the hero reincarnated. But in
Yeah.
Wind Waker, he wasn't. He was just some kid, and he like forced himself in. He like you literally go and find the Triforce, and you're like, yeah, I am the hero now.
Wow.
He's,
I didn't know
it's,
that.
yeah, he's not like the spirit of the hero reincarnated. I mean, he could be, but he wasn't like he didn't have like a Triforce hand tattoo like all the other
True.
ones do.
True.
But I think there
interesting.
are like fun bits to the lore and story behind different characters in the game. But yeah, I don't think they're going to expand on that lore really. They're just going to make a fun game and then they'll shoehorn it into their existing timeline they've created.
Yep,
Right.
that's how the Zelda devs work.
Huh.
And I'm
Another
with that.
thing is like lore and story. I feel like kind of get confused in my mind. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they are different though. There's
You're
like
right.
the
story
actual.
is kind of what's at the surface level and like the plot and the characters, whereas
Right.
the lore is like the background of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good yeah
not
for sure.
characters, the background of like the world itself is what I meant to say.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, and, well, and we can talk like lore of the game itself, or of like each individual game, plus lore of the series as a whole, right? Because
Yeah.
I'd say Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are very lore rich in their worlds. I mean, their entire YouTube channel is dedicated to talking. I mean, they knew about Zonai before Zonai were announced, and it's like. Like there's a lot of digging to do in the individual games, but yeah, I do think that it's good to make the distinction between that and the story, which I think is a very strong point in Zelda as a whole. I love the stories of each of the games.
Yeah.
I'd say Breath of the Wilds was probably one of the weakest as far as stories go. It like services the gameplay really well.
Yeah.
But I like Tears of the Kingdom's story a lot more. It's a lot more engaging to
Right.
me, even though it's very similarly done.
Yeah.
Plus it's got Ganondorf, and Ganondorf's just so cool, man.
True.
I mean,
True.
he's just so cool.
He is very cool. Very cool.
They need
I do agree with you there.
in future Zeldas. My request is that we just see more Ganondorf, because he always just shows up at the end, and you're like, "Wow, this villain's so cool," and then he's gone.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
he
He's
comes
cool.
into.
Bye.
How about a game where you play as Ganondorf and you have to deal with like Link becoming the hero?
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
um,
That's a good idea.
what's that game? What's that game by Blizzard?
I have
Blizzard.
no idea.
Yeah, the game where you are trying. It's on Switch. You can play as Ganondorf on that game.
Oh, I still don't know.
I'm looking it up
yeah.
here. I'm panicking. What is
Blizzard
it?
Ganondorf. World of Warcraft?
Diablo 3. Diablo 3. Diablo
What?
3 on Switch. You can play as Ganondorf. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Wow, a Nintendo fun fact I didn't know. That's crazy.
It's a costume, but I mean, it's straight up is him.
True.
That's
it's
crazy.
It's the Twilight Princess looking Ganondorf.
Okay.
Super cool. I have been tempted to buy this game just for that. I have no interest in Diablo, but I'm like,
Yeah.
a game where I can
What is
play as
Ganondorf?
Ganondorf? Yeah.
Genius. That's
But
funny.
yeah, that was. There's been a lot of people saying, and it looks like the AI agrees. An actual Zelda game.
that was not the AI. That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is actually a really good point. But
Thanks, AI.
a future game where you play as Zelda, like Princess Peach Showtime.
Yeah.
How doable? I mean, you put it in here, John. How doable do you think? Do you think that'll happen?
As long as it's not
I-
Princess Peach Showtime, I'd be fine with that.
Right. It can't
You didn't
be
like Princess Peach Showtime?
Peach Showtime. It can't be like Princess Peach Showtime. I'm just thinking of
I have
making
mixed feelings
Zelda as the
about
main
Showtime.
character. That's basically it. I don't know how
Princess Peach Showtime
doable
is
it
a
would be.
rough around, that's my opinions on it. It's very rough around the edges. It's very easy, and
Right.
it didn't feel very satisfying to play for the most part.
One
But
second.
it like looks nice and runs well for the most part, and like it doesn't do anything bad technically. I just didn't really enjoy my time with it very much, which I didn't say on my pros and Joy-Cons video because I was trying to be objective, but I didn't like it very much.
Man, interesting.
Yeah, but also Zelda's a different series for sure.
True.
I mean, Zelda
That's true.
definitely gears to an older audience than I think.
Zelda
Mario
also just
and
doesn't
Princess
have
Peach.
spin-offs as much as Mario does. Because like
Yeah,
Mario, you've
true.
got the Wario games. You got 2 different Wario game series. You got Luigi's Mansion. You got Princess Peach Showtime. Like every main Mario cast character has their own game, except for Waluigi.
Waluigi. R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
I wish. You're right.
That would be epic.
Uh,
Honestly.
I don't know what they would do. I can't see it. I can't see them making a Zelda game where you play as Zelda.
Yeah.
There
It
was
just an
the
interesting idea though.
idea in the past of a game that you would play as Zelda as Sheik,
Peak, right?
and you were like
Yeah, that was-
prepping
Okay.
the world for the return of Link in Ocarina of Time, right? Because there's the time jump between
That would
young
be a
Link.
Really cool idea though. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think something like that would be really interesting, but I don't know if they'll do it. I just feel like that's too connected of a lore.
Yeah.
For-
it's too connected.
for-
And it's also just too. I feel like it's too specific. If that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
almost too specific for Nintendo to follow that directly. I don't know.
yeah, and it.
Zelda games always have to kind of be like your epic adventures where,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
and that doesn't feel like a giant end of the world adventure, which doesn't really fit with Zelda, unless it's Link's crossbow training, which for some reason Nintendo let through, and I'm very happy they did. Love that game.
Yeah, it's a good game, and also the Tingle games. Those don't really feel like.
I always
Tingle
forget
has a
that those
game
exist.
series. Hold up.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Yes.
I feel like I
Tingle's
knew about
Rosie,
this.
Dingle's balloon trip of love, Rosie
Oh
Rupee
my word.
Land. They're great.
That's right. Oh, that. Wow. Wow.
The dating sim that's also
Okay.
a Wizard of
They-
Oz parody.
Then they tried to do spin-offs and they completely failed.
I don't think
wouldn't want a
I
spin-off?
couldn't say they tried. I feel like the Tingle game, the first one, I think it actually did decent in the
Okay.
US, but they didn't even bring over the second game.
Wait,
Man.
I thought they were both Japanese exclusives.
Nope. The first one I think came over. Tingle's
Can you
Right.
imagine that's what we get at the Direct tomorrow? Announcing a brand new entry in the Legend of Zelda series.
Okay, that would be hilarious though. That would be hilarious. A Tingle game.
Brand new
I would
HD.
scream. I would be so excited.
Uh,
I think so. I tried out the Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love, the second one, on
Okay.
stream through like a ROM hack with a English translation, and it's a fun, charming
Yeah.
little game. It's like, yeah, I want more Zelda spin-offs. I think they're fun.
for sure.
Like Presto mentioned earlier, the crossbow training game's super fun.
Yeah. It's really content low. Like there's not much to do in that game, but it is very fun while it lasts.
Dude, you know what would be sick? I asked for this years ago and still love this is a Paper Zelda. In like the RPG.
that would be
That would
really
be so
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't think they
I
can
would
make
love
like
that.
the same system as Mario, but like even you could like action commands with Zelda game.
Yeah.
That'd be so.
That'd be
Just
interesting.
an just an RPG of any kind. I would
Just a
love
Zelda
I've
We have a
talked
Zelda
about
RPG. You're so right.
yeah,
Like, that
I've
should just exist.
yeah, where it's like more turn-based. I would love
even
if,
like a JRPG style game, but I guess that's closer to something like Hyrule Warriors.
Mhm. I was just I would love if they did if a Nintendo game made something along the lines of like Baldur's Gate or another game by Larian is Divinity Original Sin 2, where it's kind of this like tabletop experience but in video game form, if that makes any sense. I'm losing you. Where you control it's turn based and you control people on like you can have a move distances. I guess probably the most comparable thing is Mario and Rabbids. It's probably the most comparable thing.
Okay.
Something along the lines of that with Zelda would be really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Link and Leviathan. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's just Link and Leviathans.
There you go.
The Leviathans
I'd be all
in
in.
Zelda Breath of the Wild finally got a role. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they got these just giant skeletons lying around. Where did those come from?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what we need. We need a Leviathan lore game.
Oh man.
You put this last point on here, John, with the remakes and remasters that we need.
Yeah. Because I feel like there are some Zelda games that like we already have, or they're too old to remake. If that makes sense. I mean, it'd be interesting if they remade the original Legend of Zelda, but I don't know. Those are just the main ones I thought of.
Yeah, I mean, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, just porting those from Wii U to.
Those stuff was happening. Yeah, like
I feel like they're just sitting on that for sure.
Right.
yeah.
I would love to see a more ground up remake of Ocarina of Time.
That's
Something
what I was thinking.
in the vein of like Final Fantasy VII remake.
Ooh, that could also be super.
Where
Like,
they take the story, characters, and world, and they just completely remake the game with that.
Can you imagine Ocarina of Time? Its world is like the style of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
like, just
it
a
would be-
full
Okay,
like
that would be crazy.
world, all your different places,
I would love it.
and you
I would love
can
it.
still have like all of the dungeons
Yeah.
that you have in that game.
You would just basically remove the barriers between the areas. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's already such a big world, but there's like so much you could do with it if they were to like full remake it. But I don't know.
Right.
Nintendo's never done that.
No.
I can't. Unless I'm completely drawn a blank here. They have never like gone in and completely remade a game from the ground up. But if they were to do it, Ocarina of Time would be the game
Yeah, for sure.
to do that for.
And then, to be honest, if they were to do Ocarina of Time, I would really hope if they did a Majora's Mask as well. Majora's Mask was really fun, in my opinion. I mean, maybe.
I feel like if they do Ocarina of Time, that they need to do Majora's Mask, just because that's sort of like the duality of those two games.
Right. And I mean,
But also, like those two would be completely different in a remade style, just because of how different the games are on a base level.
true.
Like it's the same
True.
engine, but other than that, it's very different games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one you don't have on here that I think I would love to see what they do with is Zelda 2.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I feel like
That's like the 2D Zelda almost of it all.
kind
But
of
like
yeah.
not 2D, like a 2D platformer kinda is
Yeah.
how it's like the overworld plus the it's Zelda 2 is a really interesting and unique game that doesn't get brought up enough.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see any games like yeah.
You're right. Yeah, I think it would be it's certainly a very unique direction. I mean, it's only the second game in the series, right? So at the time, it wasn't like there was no precedent other than the first game.
Right.
But they definitely went back more towards what the first game was with the sequels. And
Yeah.
I think Zelda 2 sort of kind of just gets lost in the grand scheme of things and could be it could be interesting to see what remake like we got for Link's Awakening would look like for Zelda 2.
For sure. Another one I have is
agree.
Oracle Games. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be really cool if they just did both of them at the same time and just said, you know what? Here's 2 Zelda games. Not just 1, 2 Zelda games.
Yeah, I think this one should be built almost exactly on the engine that Link's Awakening remake was
Yeah,
built on.
for sure.
Yeah.
They would look beautiful
would
in
be
that art
It
style.
would in that toy Lake art style.
And I might actually play the entire game
I
through.
wrote down Minish Cap with a question mark because that game, as much as I would love to see it remade so that more people play it and such, that game has such a wonderful art style. Like, it's got that perfect GBA pixel art, and just all of the animation, everything in that game looks so clean.
Yeah,
I feel like it would almost kind of like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake, like Brilliant Diamond Defy. If they could do it in a cool way, that works, sure. But like, I feel like that game would not work as well as the Game Boy games with the remake, just because the Game Boy games are Game Boy games. It's the GBA game, which I think still holds up really well in 2023.
Yeah.
I think the main problem with both the Oracle games and Minish Cap is that they're Capcom developed. And so that was a joint effort by Capcom and Nintendo, and I don't know how. It's one of those like weird divorce situations, like who owns the rights to what parts, and
yeah,
may just avoid those altogether because they're not like in-house developed. But who knows? Maybe they've re-released them on NSO, so. And Capcom's pretty agreeable to work with. But can we just give more games to Capcom? Capcom made great games. They made great Zelda games. Can we give them some more?
True.
What happened to that?
Yeah, they're making a new Zelda game. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I would love. We could see way more Zelda games if Nintendo opened their doors a little bit to having more developers try them out. Like the Cadence of Hyrule thing is like such a unique but it works so well with Zelda, and I'm like, what? There's definitely got to be other teams out there that could make a Zelda game, and it would be so hype. Like Nintendo will never do this, but like get Larian, like the Baldur's Gate 3 developers, put them on, give them the Zelda IP, or give
like if anybody has offered the Zelda IP, they will take it and they will hold it reverently, and they will make the best game that they possibly can using that IP.
Unless you're Philips. Because then you get Wand of Gamelon.
Yeah.
That was a different time.
CDI games.
Yeah.
That's a point.
Yeah.
I think that is really what holds Nintendo back. Like, they're very protective of their IP, and that is for the sake of quality. Yeah. They restarted Metroid Prime 4 because they originally had that being developed by Bandai Namco, which they've worked with for the past 2 Smash Bros games like extensively, and they were like, no, you guys aren't doing a good enough job. We're taking it and giving it back to the original studio for Metroid Prime.
Interesting.
And so I feel like Nintendo's hard to work with when it comes to their IP.
Yeah.
But I
feel like both Mario plus Rabbids and Cadence of Hyrule were both vestiges of the Wii U era, where they're like, we will take literally anything just to get games out there and going. Like, because Nintendo was a lot more desperate at the beginning of the Switch era, whereas now they don't care. They're like, we
don't need a Cadence of Hyrule. You're they didn't when the Switch was out either, but that also was probably the deal was in development long before.
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. I mean, hey, I'll take remakes or remasters of pretty much any and every Zelda game. I would also love if they released that. They originally like demoed Breath of the Wild as like a 2D Zelda game that was like in the art style of the original Zelda.
I feel like I heard about that.
Yeah, I would love if they released that. It's like Breath of the Wild, but 2D. Just like quirky, weird little one-off titles. I think are fun to do. And help bridge the gap in development that inevitably happens. Like, even when they say it's going to come out, it gets delayed by like a long time. Long time. Breath of the Wild was supposed to be a Wii U title, like early in the Wii U lifespan. And it took forever. I remember seeing them showing off like running through a forest and like horse AI like way before 2017. Yeah. And it's just like, yep, we're working on it. And then it's like 10 years later. It's like, so these like small titles, like pitch out the IP to different. I'm now pitching my ideas more than what I think will actually happen. But throw the IP out to some other studios to develop some smaller spin-off type titles for the game while you work on that big next tentpole release.
Yeah, agreed.
Breath of the Wild 3, and preferably. No, just kidding.
Yes, I'll pitch out Breath of the Wild 3 over to Blizzard Entertainment. We'll see what they do with it.
No.
This won't end
No.
badly at all.
No, definitely not.
John, you think we're good here? I think we've discussed the future of Zelda.
I think we have discussed the future of Zelda to completion. Maybe not completion, but we've discussed it plenty. It's
Yeah,
also
all
been 2
I'm-
hours.
Yeah, I need a new Zelda because I need to make more content.
Yeah,
so I just
exactly.
need them. I need them to keep making Zelda so that I can keep playing it wrong.
Oh, man. That's fun. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. I'm not Josiah. Get out
I'm
of
not John,
Yeah, and I'm not
I'm Presto.
Presto.
and this is
Is Gaming Corner.